I said, yeah, coming from the long weekend, and looking like a longer week because of the international break. But, we're good. We're good. Move on.
Yeah, the international break, as we were saying before we started recording this show, came at the right time for the
Mm-hmm.
Gunners and for the Arsenal. Seeing what
Yeah.
happened over the weekend, as you see, I tagged this recording session as clear heads after the Carabao Cup final loss because for me, I was so angry and I
Mm-hmm.
was not really happy with the way the final went down. But let me
Obviously.
just let me just get your own take before we get kicking or before we get stuck in.
Yeah.
How did you see the final as an Arsenal fan before the match? Your expectation, what you wanted out of the match, and what you saw the 90 minutes. I just
Okay,
need
I'll
your
say,
raw reaction.
yeah, sure. So, obviously, it was one to win for us. I expected us to, nick the trophy no matter what. That's the reason why we got into the final. Um, but I would say that the game went both ways. We started very well. We didn't allow them to like settle and hold the ball and all that. So I think the first 10 minutes we had a good start, but towards the 15 20th minute in the first half, we regressed, and we did that against United, sitting back on the ball, no decisive passes on time, no quick thinking on the ball. You understand, like our wingers were a bit more defensive instead of
Yeah,
taking on, yeah, instead of taking on their fullbacks. So that definitely affected the vibe and the mentality of the game. So in a way, it felt like we were trying to contain them, during the first half. And I would say creatively, we were not there. Jokeres had a good start, was able to run in and out and all that, but the guys behind him did not help at all. Saka, Trossard, Havertz, they were not they were not clicking in the first half. It wasn't there. There was even I couldn't count how many times Havertz, Trossard, and Saka were able to like complete passes
link up.
between each other. You understand? Apart from the striker, so it said a lot on our moving forward. There was nobody to retain the ball in the midfield, and sort of commander display or commander attack. You understand? Bringing the striker into the game. Havertz had like one or two chances where he tried to lay a true pass. I think Ake was able to, block those passes in the first half, maybe once or twice. So after that, we regressed. Nkapie was very unlucky with the yellow card, of course, because he didn't touch Nunes. Um, so that obviously affected him. And I felt that in the second half, I was expecting to see Calafiori immediately. I know, obviously, Arteta wouldn't want to pull him out, probably because of a mentality thing, not trying to make it seem like, oh, he didn't do a good job or whatever. But City obviously capitalized on that because it was Semenyo, Cheki on Nkapi. Knowing he had a yellow card, he wouldn't go in for tackles. So that basically said a
I
lot
think
on our game.
that spot Semenyo on because
That's actually, yes,
prior to that
yeah.
yellow card, Semenyo had nothing on Incapi,
Yeah,
in my
it
own
was, it
personal
was, it was,
opinion.
it was quiet. Yeah, because Nkapi was like, how Nkapi gets on his tackles now. He doesn't give you that chance. He's close on you. So immediately you notice that this kind of yellow card, he doesn't want to be the one to like kill that game in the first half and get too close to these guys because they would obviously be looking for those cheap fouls. So that made him
Yeah,
sit back a bit and zone mark and all that. So that's what makes Semenyo had those chances to like pull out those crosses and give out all those threats that he did. Then I would say in the second half, it was very clear what Pep did. Front four press, front four press. He
went to
left
4-2-4.
Saliba and yeah,
Yeah,
he left Saliba and Gabriel, to hold the ball with Kepa because he already knew and he had watched that Kepa is not good with distribution. That was what killed it.
yeah,
Because yeah, I'm
yeah.
not trying to even blame Kepa here, but it's everyone has their own how do you say it now strong parts. Kepa is not that good with distribution, and to me, it's not spontaneous. You understand? There were a lot of times in the second half where you would see Ben White pulling out towards the middle. Do you understand? Just for him to lob the ball over the defenders and the front four press of City, get it into the midfield where you have Zubimendi, Rice, those kind of passes that Raya does. He couldn't do it. So that was what actually put us, that was what put us under that pressure. Because all he now had to do was you hold the ball, you roll it, look around, he'll pass it to Gabi, come back. So those passes were not working out. If we could have someone that could drop the ball from the keeper down to the midfield where you have either Ben White, either Nkapie, Declan Rice holding the ball and moving forward, you will definitely be on 5 City players because the first 4 are beaten. But I feel that that was a major part, and also the mistake, it worsened everything, and we're very unlucky, I would say.
But we actually, like, for me, going into that game, I was positive, seeing the run of form Arsenal has been in as compared to that of Man City. Man City has not been good in their last 3 games, seeing them dropping points against West Ham, Nottingham Forest in the league, and also losing to Real Madrid home and away. So I felt though that was an indicator to see a wounded Man City, because we know Pep, being the kind of manager he is, getting into the final, he would want to take advantage of the occasion. I was worried in that stead in one way about Pep, but I felt player to player, mano, squad for squad, our squad has been so good for the past how many games, and we've been in good run of form. So we should be able to see how we can go into that game, however which way, at least put in a performance that would help us in lifting the Carabao Cup, which is a very will be a cup of will be the trophy we would win in the past 6 years, because the last trophy we won, major trophy, was the FA Cup when Arteta first came in. But starting that match, I thought the approach I saw from Arteta was he wanted to score early and defend. To that, we saw chances, Havertz, Saka, not taking advantage of those chances. And after the 20th, 25th minute, Arsenal just went down. The energy dropped. And Man City started picking the pace. Though they were not really dangerous, despite the fact that they picked the pace from 30th minute. But we could see the energy fizzled out. Their legs went down. The legs of Arsenal players went off, and we just couldn't. The beginning of the second half, the pressure was too much, and we couldn't even do anything. The changes helped when Calafiori came in, and a little bit of here and there. At least we were able to attack, muster a little bit of attack, and possibly those two balls that hit the crossbar. Possibly, if you had gone in, it could have been 2-2. But the question I just want to ask, and which a lot of rival fans have also been alluding to, the banter was peak as at Sunday night up until yesterday.
till today, I'm sure some people are still going to do their thing.
Did we really see our players shrink under the Wembley spotlight? Because if you look at this current squad, the only player that was left in that 2020 squad that won the FA Cup for Arteta in his first stint, we could only say it was Bukayo Saka. I don't think Martinelli was still a player then, but I don't think he featured in that final, or he was on the squad, or he was in the match day squad. But the only players that we could pinpoint to say they were still part of the squad that won the last major trophy for Arteta was just Bukayo Saka and Martinelli. But looking at that game, did the Arsenal players, did they have to do with anything mental? Did they really shrink in the final?
I would say they actually shrunk because one thing with football, I always say I don't like to blame the coach for everything. You understand? I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that the coach may tell you to be conservative, contain them, don't press too high, don't do this, don't do that. The coach can, say all of that. But I feel that as an attacking player, let me put that out to them, because I really blamed. Let me even put it on the 4 of them. the 4 attacking players we had. I really blame them. They were not holding the ball. They were not holding the ball at all. Number one, and you could not see that hunger in them. You couldn't see. There was a time, like I think from early in the second half, I was already calling for Madueke to come in because I felt there's no way you would not be able to take on O'Reilly one-on-one. Football is not, don't make it robotic. Do you understand? Put a bit of flair into your football. Be a bit, think out of the box. You are a footballer for a reason. Do you understand? I don't see why.
Raposo, sorry, you're coming in and out. Can you just switch to audio? Because so that we can hear your analysis. Because I think the network connectivity from your hand is not that strong.
And it's stable, yeah.
Okay. Because you're coming in and out. Maybe if you can just switch to audio, let's test it. Yeah. Makes sense.
Can you hear me better now? Okay. So, like I said, I feel that as a footballer, you should be able to take the bull by the horn when it matters most. I don't really believe in we tried our best, we'll go again. Yeah, that can come in after like some days, after you've sucked and all that. But when it matters most, when that particular occasion is high as as it was at that time, you should be able to take some steps. Like, for example, we've seen how brilliant Trossard can be. We've seen how brilliant Saka can be. We know how brilliant Havertz can be. Why is it that particular day of all days that the three of them decided to be so blunt? Do you understand?
It was a stinker.
It was a total stinker, bro. Like, totally. I know a lot of people were like, oh, Zubimendi this, oh, Declan Rice this. Yeah, there was nobody to hold the ball in the midfield. There was no this, there was no that. But I have seen someone like Odegaard, when this kind of situation occurs, he comes all the way back. He tracks back. He brings the ball out. Do you understand? He comes like you've seen where he comes in to be like the 4. He pushes Zubimendi and Rice to his right and left. He gets the ball from the keeper and then spreads the play. I don't expect Havertz to do that because obviously he doesn't play too deep. But like I was saying also, there are some times when, especially, so imagine this now. I thought about something. I said, okay, so imagine if we get to another finals, this season. Do they want to tell me that they'll have a brain freeze like what happened the last time? Because your opponent that is in the final is not ready to come play games with you. They are ready to kill the game. Same thing that happened between Inter Milan and PSG in the finals. Like, Inter felt maybe they could be conservative, defend a bit, but PSG came all out, and before they could think about any two things, they had considered 3 goals. So I feel that
it was over.
And it was over. So I feel that whoever it is that is going to be in our starting 11, do you understand? Whether it is we start Kepa, whether it is we start Madueke, whether it is the players themselves should have the mindset, especially when it's a final. They need to start getting used to the fact that, okay, the way we are playing, we are going to get more finals. We're going to get into more finals. Do you understand? And when it comes to the finals, we've seen so much drama over the years in football. We've seen so many times where, okay, see the whole Madrid thing, fighting back. Those are the kind of things we need to see. You don't drop your head and just be, It was until when Calafiori came in that we started having
we saw a bit of attacking impetus. We saw a bit of Arsenal going forward, trying to attack. Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's how do you say it now? There are so many things we can pick. We can pick late substitutions on the coach's part. We can pick the press from the keeper, blah blah blah. But initially, and the first thing is the attacking players didn't come to the game at all. Let me put it that way. I'm in your mom, I'm busy. Tell her to give you. Do you understand?
Well, you can you can switch back to the video because it's still the same. So, but let's see your face as it's coming. It's still coming.
Is it the fan behind?
No. I don't know. It is the network. It's breaking, cutting. You go mute for like a few minutes. You go still and come back again. I think it's the network. But let's just manage it.
It's happening on your end too. But I can hear your voice, but the video is seasoned. So
exactly. So the network is so crazy. We just have to do what we have to do. But for me, moving on, I to pick from what you just said, I'm going
Yeah.
to all lights, all hands will be pointed
Mm-hmm.
to Arteta because
Obviously.
I felt the approach he used in that final was a bit too rigid and
Mm-hmm.
was a bit too how am I going to put it, was a bit too rigid. He didn't give the players the freedom. We saw players like Saka and Trossard having to do a lot of defending, having to
Yeah,
do a
too
lot of
much defending.
defending, too much
Mm-hmm.
defending, and that didn't really give them that freedom to attack. Because in my own opinion, Man City were there for the taking. Looking at the way Pep Guardiola even set up, pushing
Mm-hmm.
4 men in order to stop us from playing out from the back. And imagine
Yeah.
if we had a Raya that knows how to spread those passes. Once we beat those 4-man press, it could have been open sesame for us.
Bro, I'm
Open
telling
sesame
you, a
for us.
counter attack kind of football, and
But I felt on the part of Arteta should have seen that and should have read what Man City brought into
Mm-hmm.
that game in the second half. And he should have
Mm-hmm.
been reactive rather than wait for over 20 minutes. Because if you see the goals Man City scored, O'Reilly scored the
Yeah.
first one in the 59th and scored the second one in the 63rd, 4 minutes apart. And it was after the
Mm.
second goal came, that was when the reactionary move, kicked in
Even
for him
before the
to quickly
second goal
make his.
came in, Calafiori and Madueke had already stripped. Do you understand? They
Yeah,
were just waiting.
yeah,
Before we knew it,
waiting.
that second cross came in,
hmm
and so it was man.
And that was when the goal came in. So I
Yeah.
feel for my, like I said, is that a worry for we Arsenal fans? I am not taking anything away from Arteta. I'm not saying Arteta has not done, because before people start, misconstruing it and thinking maybe I'm trying to put Arteta on the bus, throw Arteta under the bus. But looking at what we saw on Sunday, should we be worried as Arsenal fan? You mentioned it. Are you now saying if we get into another final, let's say FA Cup or Champions League, are we going to see this kind of stoic and military and regimented approach to a final? I believe I played football. Final, you give in everything. You don't even follow the books. You don't even follow
Do you
what's the
understand?
plan.
You
You
need
go in
to
there and try
just
to
do
see
your
what you
thing and
can.
just make sure that you come out with the win. Like anything that you need to do, just do it and get your win. That's how it should be. But
But really, as Arsenal fans, should we
Mhm.
be worried for this kind of approach from Arteta going into the season, going into the rest of the season? Because a lot of people said he played that final like a league game, looking out to see if he can get a draw or 1 point.
Okay, so I would say even the league games, yeah, he doesn't really look out for draws nowadays. He tries to win. Do you understand? And I would say Arsenal fans shouldn't be worried. I am not worried because first things first. Um, yes, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, the quadruple," but if you look at most of the noise,
I was
was
not part
coming
of
from
them.
the. No, it was actually coming from the the rival fans. They were the
Yeah,
ones pushing the whole narrative of the quadruple this or that, because most realistic Arsenal fans, yeah, number one thing we're after is the league. That's the most important thing. The
yeah,
league, at least win
number
that
one.
first, and yeah, climb
Yeah,
on that. If you can get the Champions League, good enough. Do you understand? If the FA Cup comes with it, oh, fantastic season. But even at that, if we had put up a better, fight against City and probably maybe got into the penalties and lost on penalties or something, I think I would have been a bit, saying, okay, they fought for it, they went for it, fine. So, like we said earlier, the major problem that we got from them was their vibe and their approach to the game. It wasn't nice because we just played the Leverkusen and we saw how we played, and we were better on the ball. So I would say another thing is that Arteta actually learns from his mistakes. I'll actually say that. I've noticed that he learns from his mistakes, and I feel that the signs were clear. Immediately they lost, they know
Yeah.
what to discuss. They
Mm-hmm.
know what to talk about. They know what to act on, because it's not just about City. It's about other teams probably even trying to
True.
try out this same
It's
setup
not
with
about
you.
City.
Yeah. So now you need to know how to break the press, because you're going to play Sporting. What if Sporting comes this way and try to
Exactly.
do the same thing? Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all about learning. So at this stage, I feel that, like we said earlier, the international break also gives them some time to be able to balance themselves out, rewatch all these things, know where to act on, and know where to learn from. And I'm sure that would the last run of this season would be good enough for us, and it will give us trophies, hopefully.
As an Arsenal fan, are you worried about Man City? You know why I'm asking that question? Because things like this is where Pep loves to thrive. He loves to thrive on situations like this, trying to put the
Mm-hmm.
heat on, trying to put, that siege mentality. And
Yeah.
because seeing that he got one over Arteta and over Arsenal in the Carabao Cup Final gives him that impetus. Yes, we know in the league, based on the facts we're seeing in front of us, 9 points behind Arsenal with a game in hand. And
Mm-hmm.
if they win that game in hand against Crystal Palace, it reduces it to 6 points.
So six.
If
Yeah.
and it now leads to the Man City Arsenal game at the Etihad. And if they try to
Mm.
win it, possibly might want to use the same template to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
feel Pep is in a catch-22 situation for that Etihad game. You know why I'm saying that? Because in that game, we'll see a creative midfielder coming for Arsenal. Odegaard might be fit, Eze could be fit, and Raya
Mm-hmm.
comes in between the posts. Raya's
Yeah.
balls distribution is top to none. Timber as
Yeah.
well could be fit for that game,
Could be fit. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that gives Arsenal that defensive stability.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely, I know he would want to start Calafiori over
Yeah.
Incapi,
Yeah.
seeing that Calafiori gave a bit of attack when he came in. And
Mm-hmm.
also, Pep could be in a dilemma to say, do I push O'Reilly into the middle and drop Cherky and bring in
Yeah.
Hadnori to the left back? So a lot of twists there and here and there for both teams. But like the question I was about to ask, Pep loves to thrive in situations like this.
Mm-hmm.
As an Arsenal
Mm-hmm.
fan, are you worried? Do you think this Carabao Cup final loss could hinder or hamper Arsenal's chances in the remaining 7 games of the season?
Okay, so I would say that to be honest, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about City. I know that
A lot of
obviously they are
Arsenal
not
fans, ha,
even. Yeah, obviously they have the right to be worried. But I'm not worried because I've seen them play this season, and it's not like they are, you know, that good enough and all that kind of stuff. And Arsenal has also played other teams. We've played Inter Milan, Bayern Munich. We've played big teams and Atletico. And we've been able to get good results. So I would say that, like I said, I think some episodes ago I said something about going to win at the Etihad. I feel that that is where we're going to stamp it and say, okay, fine, we are ready to take this league. Do you understand? So winning at the Etihad has always been my own aim when I've seen the run of games that we have, left. So I would say the fans shouldn't be worried. That's the first thing I would say. We've always been taking this whole season has been a game at a time for us, and we just need to continue with that. To be honest, so come back after the international break, play Southampton. Next game is Bournemouth at home, I think. Then if it's the Champions League after that, so step by step, we don't really need to panic. Like I said, the manager nowadays or this season, he's been a bit, he's learning. You understand? He's not been too rigid and stubborn as he used to be. So if he feels in one aspect, he learns from it and he moves on from it. So hopefully, I'm sure we'll see progress from them. In the running.
Well,
Hopefully, our injured
I,
players are
I
back fully.
just I just hope, because at the moment, this is what I've been ruminating in my head. Man City have 8 games left. Arsenal have 7 games left.
Yeah.
Arsenal currently sits 70 points. Man City
Mm-hmm.
61 points. Arsenal
Mm-hmm.
have 4 home games and 3
Mm-hmm.
away games. So the 4 home games, right? Ensure you win them. That's 12 points. 12 points
Basically,
plus 70, that gives you 82.
82.
The remaining 3 away games, you have Crystal Palace, Man City, and West Ham. I know the West Ham game will be difficult. London neighbours, London rivals, battling relegation. I feel we could win that because the pressure won't be on us. It will be on West Ham to want to come out and attack. You win that, and you draw Crystal Palace. You win that, and you draw Crystal Palace. That is 4 points. That gives us 86 points.
86.
The Etihad game, you could decide to draw. And that gives us 87. So Man City, 8 games. If they win 7 out of the 8 games, that's 21. 21 plus 61, that's 82. And if you draw Man City, that's 83. We win the league. We win the league. So I don't know how Arteta and his men are going to do this, because this is the kind of permutation and combination Sir Alex Ferguson used to do back then. There are games they target. They try to win it because they know if they win those games, the league is theirs. And I allude to what you said from the beginning of this show. The Premier League is priority, saying that 22 years ago was when we last won it. And Arsenal needs to do everything. Arsenal and Arteta, the boys, the players. This is not the time where they need to cower, and this is not the time where they need to start feeling guilty. You're almost there. And that's why I'm confident, because after that Carabao Cup loss, the difference between us and Man City, if it were to be 4 points or 3 points, I would have been worried. But it is 9 points. 9 points. So it means that for Man City to win this league, Arsenal would have to lose 3 games in the remaining 7, which I feel at this time of the season, we have it in our hands. And I'll be urging the guys, because the league is what I want us to win, really. The Champions League, we have a way. If we go scale through the semi-final, depending who we meet, if it's Barcelona or Atletico, that's if we win Sporting Lisbon. Once you get into the final, that approach I saw on Sunday, I don't want to see that approach. Throw the kitchen sink at it. If it's going to take Saliba driving forward to want to go score as a striker, do it, because that's what we need.
We need to attack.